college. There's other places to play, other opportunities. We are going to continue this year, at least, so they're going to still be playing this year. So we want them to continue their education and explore other opportunities, and we'll help with that. Coach Monaco has contacts throughout the whole country. He does a great job getting, his football players on four-year school, so we're going to continue to do that for them. We're not going to just let them go. We're going to see them through.
How long have you known this was your decision to cut football, starting in 2019?
I mean, just recently. I mean, we've been talking about it. We've been meeting with our executive leadership team. We've been talking with coaches, my staff, my full-time staff, my assistant athletic director. So this conversation has been going on for a while, but it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago where we've given the options to the chancellor, and he chose the 1.9 with that we gave him.
Was this a difficult decision at all? And if so,
Of course, yeah. Whenever you've got student athletes and their livelihood, a lot of these students, they wouldn't be stepping on the field had it not been for athletics. So, we understand how difficult this is, and this isn't a decision that was made easily. It is very difficult.
On the flip side, what was the reaction from the programs that are safe?
I mean, everybody knows that, we got to continue to be successful, and hopefully enrollment grows. If we don't continue to grow our enrollment or do things to supplement our current budget, it could be other programs. So they understand that, and I think it puts them on this. Hey, we've got to continue to, celebrate the things we do, encourage people to take classes at Pima because it comes down to enrollment. That's how we're funded. And, continue to explore ways to supplement our budget with fundraising and using our foundation.
How much did you think about seeing the other four schools get cut at Maricopa go into your decision?
That brought up the conversation. And my thought is that had they not dropped their programs, I think this conversation would still be had just because of our budget situation. So even though those schools in Maricopa dropped their programs, I think we still would have been having this conversation just because of our current budget situation. We're losing 51 positions this next year, and there's going to be possibly layoffs. So, I think these discussions would have been happening regardless of what happened in Maricopa.
So you gave general criteria for the other four teams you're looking at. What do you think will be make the most important in that decision? Will be most important in that decision?
I mean, one of the things that we're looking at is conference and maybe the demographic they serve, the amount of students, those type of things. But, I think viable conference possibly. I've got a committee working on a formula to evaluate all our programs, using grade point average, using sustainability, using cost of program, talking about viable conference. So that's what we're exploring, but those are a few of them.
Is there a timetable on that? Make a decision on the golf and tennis programs?
I would say a few months here. We've got a little bit of time because everything's going to continue this year, so we've got some time. So we're gonna do a good job with it and make sure that we think it through.
those players are in limbo, though, aren't they?
No, because they're going to play this year.
If you're an incoming freshman, though, you don't know if you're going to have another year.
Our signing date is in January, so we want to make sure to have that decision before January. That's our signing date. So.
And I apologize, I'm not an expert on the Pima budget, but I'm sitting in the meeting and I'm thinking, boy, why do they have to cut $5 million a year for 3 years? I don't know how the Pima budget, it sounds like it got out of whack, or just educate me on the way.
Well, so for example, at one point, our FTSE was full-time students equivalency, which is about 15 credit hours per semester, 30 credit hours a year. We had about 23,000 in 2011. Well, in 2000 now, we've got 14,000. So back then it was about 70,000 head count. Now it's about 40 to 50,000 head count. So enrollment has really hurt us. We don't have that enrollment, which keeps us from accessing, the money from property taxes with expenditure limitations. We can only access a certain portion, not at the amount we used to for operations.
What do you think is behind losing 25, 30,000 students over the past 6, 7 years?
I think it's a combination of a few things. I think just college in general is trending. A lot of colleges are losing enrollment. I think, we've got to continue to improve how we do things so we can attract those students. Back in the day, you had, Pima was your only option here in Pima County, but now you got online classes, you got other institutions that can deliver an education and you not have to be there. So we need to keep up with what's going on in that aspect.
How much are you concerned about the lame duck status of the football program as far as some of the players not coming next year, not this upcoming season?
Well, I mean, I think this year, I don't think it's going to be a lame duck, and the reason I think, players are going to be playing for scholarships. I mean, I think you're going to see our players playing harder than ever, especially those freshmen, because they want to have some film and some, you know, video of them doing well so they could find a place to play after their freshman year here.
I apologize for not being informed myself, but do you run into Title IX challenges with the cutting of the football program?
Well, we're gonna, with us cutting the football program, you know, there was no equivalent to men's football on the women's side. So there was always, there were more men participating in sports. But with the elimination of football, it will be equal. We'll have the equal number of female student athletes and male student athletes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.